Hey everybody, Sarah Taylor here, Diamond Ambassador, and I want to wish you guys a very happy Follow-Up Friday. Follow-Up Friday is one of my very favorite days of the week because I have so much fun during the follow-up. And I know that sounds, a little bit crazy, but you guys, the most important thing that you can do for your business is to have excellent, and consistent follow-up. This is definitely a relationship-based business, and it's not a transactional business. So most sales are actually based on the relationship, not a chance encounter or anything like that, not a one-stop shop to your website or anything like that. This is a relationship-based business. So you're either getting a good friend on board, you're getting a referral on board, you have a chance encounter with somebody and you have a connection. Regardless, it's based on a relationship, and less than 1% of your sales are going to be closed during that first initial conversation. And when that happens, you guys need to celebrate that because it's incredibly rare. The rest are going to come from your proficiency at follow-up. So if this is the case, why do most people not follow up? You guys, it's all about fear. The fear of no, the fear of bothering people. And I am here to tell you that fear is simply false evidence appearing real. Man, that fear can totally derail our business. So I want you guys to look at the facts, and I think that Alec Clark, our CMO, said it best. If you are blessed, be a blessing. You guys, we have products that people need. Everybody needs these products. We see testimonies daily of incredible results on our products, and we have an opportunity too, a business opportunity that people are desperate for. Shoot, our lowest rank brings in an average of $400 a month. You guys, how many people in this world are hurting, and $50, much less $400 a month, would seriously be the margin in their finances that would just totally help them. So generally speaking, we have products that people need, we have an opportunity that people need, and what it boils down to is that the timing might not be right for these people. When you guys can get the timing correct and the relationship in place, that's when the majority of our networks are going to say yes to us. But those two things are key: timing and relationships. Timing can actually make somebody say no, but down the road, timing can actually make them change their mind. And so the key is keeping that relationship front and center during the follow-up phase. Consistently following up so that when your friends are ready, you're the one that they're turning to. They're not turning to the other person in their network that sells Plexus or one of our competitors or anything like that. They are coming to you. So I want you guys to think of follow-up as kind of an audition to be their sponsor. Nobody wants an inconsistent sponsor. They don't want an inconsistent health coach or business coach that only checks in every once in a while. They want somebody that's going to be there for them. They want somebody that's going to be there to support them, to instill faith in them, to show them that they're important and valued, and that you really truly care about their success. And that comes through that follow-up process. This is your audition to them. This sets the precedent for the kind of sponsor that they are going to get long-term with you. So I have found that the best way to do this is to use every single Friday as my designated follow-up day for new potentials and people that are in need of follow-up. Not my current customers, not my current ambassadors or anything like that. I do that during the week, but Fridays I set an entire hour and sometimes two to just simply follow up. And before I get into my power hour, I get my list ready. I get them updated. This is something that I keep in the notes on my phone, and as anyone ever contacts me, I put their name in the notes on my phone, and so I know exactly where they're at in the process. I then print the list out and add to that list as I'm getting ready for my follow-up Friday, and I have it sitting next to my computer as I'm going through and I'm following up with all my friends. So during that designated power hour, I can write notes on it and everything. I've got it all right there. Then when I sit down for my power hour, you guys, how many of us can sit down for a power hour and have every intention to work, but then we get sucked into Facebook, or we get sucked into stuff that's going on in Messenger, in our chat, that kind of thing? The way I combat this, because I am constantly getting distractions, messages, my kids coming in, what have you, I break my power up into 4 15-minute increments. I literally set my timer. I have an Alexa here in my office, and I set my timer, and I follow up at a minimum of 5 people every 15-minute time slot. So I'll set that timer, and then I'll have 5 people that I'm ready to follow up with right then and there, and I go boom, 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 boom. Message them all, send them voicemails, text, whatever means I need to do to follow them up. But that organization and planning and that efficiency is what makes it so I don't have any excuses once my power hour is started. I follow up with a minimum of 20 people every single Friday using that 15-minute increment, 15-minute increment, 15-minute, over the course of an hour. So 20 people every Friday. If I'm at a point in my sales process where I don't have 20 more prospects that need to be following up with, I get to cold calling, but I plan that before I start my power hour. The key with each of these follow-ups is that I always set the next follow-up. And so what do I mean by that? If someone says to me and give me kind of a brush off of, hey, no problem, I'm going to look over everything, instead of just saying, okay, no problem, go look over everything, I say, great, why don't we talk again tomorrow at 2 p.m. and I'll answer any more questions that you have. That gives them a deadline. That puts me in control of our timeline, and that gives them a deadline where they're like, oh, okay, I really do need to go home and look over all this information, do the research, because Sarah's going to call me tomorrow at 2 p.m. And I'm leading them through that process. So anytime that anybody ever says, okay, no problem, I'll look over it, or I'll talk to my husband, or I'll research it, or whatever their kind of brush off is, I always set that next follow-up, and I set it pretty quickly. Nobody needs 4 weeks to research it. Nobody needs, that takes about an hour or two at the very, very most. Most people aren't even going to go and research it. They're just going to end up taking your word for it anyway. So definitely control that timeline and set the next follow-up, so that way they don't feel like you're bugging them. They're expecting your call, and you don't feel like you're bugging them either, because you've already told them, hey, I'm following up at 2 p.m. But guess what? If you tell them you're following up at 2 p.m., you better do it. You better call them, you better message them, what have you. So as you are doing your follow-ups, you guys are going to overcome objections. That's just going to happen. You cannot accept the objections as a no. The objection is simply a sign that your prospect is actually really thinking through the information that you have just provided them. I love the feel, felt, found method by Sarah Robbins. She talks about it a lot, but a lot of people talk about that method. Look that up. Feel, felt, found. That's a great way to overcome these objections, block them, move forward, move past them. And finally, at the end of the day, when you can see that your person might be a little bit nervous to give it a go, or a little bit hesitation is coming from their end, and you don't know where else to turn to, a lot of times I'll end up offering them an incentive with a very short, like 48-hour, 72-hour deadline, something like that. But I'll give them a small incentive for sign up or a small incentive to order, and I use these very, very sparingly, but they work because they give them a deadline, and everybody loves to save a little bit. But I only use those if I'm having difficulty closing the person out. The bottom line is you cannot beat yourself up over having a ton of people waiting in the wings, thinking about it, needing more information. You've got a follow-up list a mile long, but not that many people signing. You guys, that's okay. Like I said, it always boils down to that timing and that relationship. And when those two things match up, they'll be ready and they'll jump on board. It's part of the process. This is a relationship-based sale. This is not a transactional-based sale or anything like that. So I really want you guys to realize that part of it, that this is normal. So think of this time as the audition for you as their sponsor and to be their coach. I want you guys to provide lots of care, excellent service, consistent communication with them through the use of these weekly follow-up Friday power hours, and you're going to rock this business. This business is so cyclical, but remember those 15-minute increments, 5 people every 15 minutes during your power hour. Schedule it out and make it happen. This business is so cyclical, and there's going to be a lot of times where, I'll just give you this example. You're going to be going through and planting seeds, then you have to water those seeds, then you have to fertilize those seeds, maybe then you have to water them again, move them out into the sunshine, add a little bit more water, and then suddenly they bloom when they are ready to bloom. You guys have to water your seeds. You have to fertilize your seeds. Without all that water and all that fertilizer, they have absolutely no chance of blooming. So this follow-up is the single most important thing that you can do in your business. So get organized, do a power hour every single Friday. That has worked so well for me in this business, and make sure that you're consistently doing it every single week, and remind yourself, this is my audition for this prospect. This is my audition for them to be, for me to be their sponsor. I'm going to knock this out of the park with them. I'm going to show them what I'm all about, show them that I'm going to be there for them and that I care about them and I want to see them successful. So remember, water, fertilize those seeds or else they have no chance of blooming. Thank you guys so much. See you soon and good luck on your Follow Up Fridays today.